In order for him to do that, he attended several schools just to pursue education, and with his undying love for us, he died just to have liberty. In addition, education is important as it gives us the opportunity to be a better person. We gain new knowledge, skills, information, and techniques. I see somehow education as a social obligation, and proper education is required for a person to have a job. But it does not mean that we are only gaining new skills, but it also helps us to see the injustices, violence, and corruption. Lastly, due to education, it gives us the knowledge to do what is right. It shows us different perspectives, and it expands our vision, and it creates awareness. Reflection Cluster 3. The misuse of public authority by government officials, defined as corruption. It is one of the biggest issues around the world that caused extreme poverty, unemployment, rising cost of food and energy, climate change, and terrorism. The homecoming of Jose Rizal, what he did when he arrived, why he lives again the country, and his travels in different countries. There were also some issues while he is traveling and then reuniting with his family and him in Hong Kong. The present system of governing the Philippines through corrupt and self-serving officials dominated by the priors and subservient to their interests can only lead to disaster for Spain. The societal implication of having a corrupt and self-seeking official are poverty, affects the economy, affects human rights, and many more. This causes societal implication due to their use of authority for private gain in implementing public policies. Corruption causes poverty by impacting on economic growth factors, leads to lower economic activities, income inequality that leads to poverty and economic. Corruption also leads to failures in infrastructures. For example, the road doesn't last long due to the materials being used are substandard, reduced usual cement mixture. He also gives free medical with the poor. This is some of good deeds of Rizal that affects me. Its societal implication is it can help many people in the society who can't afford to go to a doctor for a checkup. By doing this, the poor people will know the findings of the doctor about their health for free so they can save up their money, their foods, and other needs. Another sentence from where I have read is Rizal was able to attract away his townmates from gambling and cockfighting by building a gym, then introducing fencing and other things he learned. Gambling can cause conflicts between them and may result in harming each other. It also causes addiction in gambling, and when they don't have enough money to bet, this may lead into stealing, selling their properties, debts, or even worse, sell your own child like what I saw on the news. And gamblers went missing after they went from a cockfighting. After he finished his novel, No Limitangere, Rizal intended to return to his motherland. He wishes to confirm that, despite the threats, there is no reason to be afraid of returning home. He planned to return the Philippines because he believed that he had done nothing wrong and that the Spanish regime would not punish innocent people. He also wants to know how his novel and other works of writing affect Filipinos and Spaniards. His great desire to help and serve Filipinos who had been suffering as a result of the system's slavery added fuel to the fire that drove him to return. Rizal's concerns also include the rising financial difficulties in his hometown of Calamba. Although patriotism is his primary motivation, he also has some personal issues that he wishes to address. The first is about his mother's operation on her eyes, and the second is about Leonora Rivera's silence. With these arguments, we might conclude that those were golden times. As Rizal's conviction described what every Filipino feel and what they can do if given the chance, we understand how difficult it is. Rizal's identity was the subject of persistent rumors. Some claim he was a German